Hello, this is a compilation video that I put together some years ago. It's appropriate to recycle it now because I have picked up a lot of new subscribers who will not have seen it. And it's autumn, which is the right time of year if you want to give this a go. There are two parts to this video. In the first part, I harvest some onions from a bucket in summer, having planted them the previous autumn. In the second part of the video, I show you how I planted winter onion sets in a bucket in autumn. It's worth noting that comparatively, where I grow and where I garden, we get very little snow and usually only light frosts. Enjoy the video. Hello, it's autumn here at Homegrown Veg in the UK, and one of the questions I'm asked most years is what can I plant in autumn? So basically what you're asking me is what can we grow as the days are getting shorter, the nights are getting cooler and colder. I'm going to see a lot more rain and perhaps even some frost and snow. What can we grow in that? Well, there aren't many things, but one of the things I've been successful with lately are these Japanese winter onions. Okay, now I've been out of action for a few days now, and in the meantime I've just sat these winter onion sets in this soil. The sets are in the shops now, so if you want to give this a go, you can go out and buy some of these things. But what I'm going to do to give you the confidence to do that and to show you that a result is possible, I'm going to do a back to front HGV how to grow start to finish video. If you're a follower of my channel, you've probably seen a few of these videos. It shows me planting whatever I plant and harvesting whatever I've planted at the end of the season, and that's the usual way of things. But this one's going to be different. This one is going to be an HGV how to grow finish to start. So all that about, how can I show you a finish I haven't even started? Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a finish from about 4 months ago. These were the winter onions I started September of last year and harvested in the summer. So this little clip of video you're going to see now is the onions I harvested about 4 or 5 months ago. Then come back to me. If you think it's worth it, watch the rest of the video. I'll show you how easy it is to plant these guys in a bucket. Catch you later. Hello, these are some of my Japanese winter onions. There's half a dozen of them growing in this 10-inch water bucket. I'll just lift the leaves up. Hope you can see those half a dozen onions, and if we just let go of the leaves they fall over, so you can see that these onions are ready to harvest. The necks have gone soft, they won't support the leaves, and they're just falling over. So these onions now are ready to harvest. I planted them in this bucket in the autumn of last year, so they've grown through autumn, winter and spring, Now we're now into the early part of summer, but they're ready to be harvested. So we're going to take them now. And then I think what we'll do is we'll probably turn this bucket out, because I am going to recover this soil. I am going to reuse this soil. And we'll just have a look at what sort of root systems they've put down in this bucket. Okay, so these are them. 6 Japanese onions grown from sets, planted in the autumn of last year, grew through autumn, winter and spring into early summer here in the UK. Now they're falling over, they're ready to harvest. So hopefully we can do this, just twist them out. Now, I think you'll agree, this is a lot of onion for such a small bucket, half as big as a 5-gallon water bucket, and look what's coming out of it. I haven't been as lucky with some of the other winter onions I've got in. Some of those have bolted, they've gone to seed, but these onions look fine. How good is that? How good is that? Let's put them to one side, turn this out, see what this soil ball looks like. Yeah, just as I expected. Chock-a-block with roots. Chock-a-block with roots. So, we're definitely happy with this result here at Homegrown Veg. Something you might want to consider doing if you haven't got much room to work, but you've enough room for a few small buckets. Why not sow a few onions? Hey Molly, look at this. I've just harvested these onions from a 10-inch water bucket. What do you think? Good delivery that, isn't it? Molly's not interested. Carrots and potatoes, yeah, and a few other bits and bobs, but onions, definitely not. Are you not, sweetheart? You're not interested in onions? Okay. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out. Okay, thanks for coming back. I'll just take these off the table. Before I do though, I'll lift a couple out and let you see what we've got here. As you can see, they're just starting to throw roots down. That gives me the confidence that there is some life in this onion set, and that it will start to kick on once it's planted up in a 10-inch bucket. But there's no need to do this. You can put these things straight in to a bucket, and I'll show you how to do that. But let me just move this off the table and bring a 10-inch bucket into shot. This is the compost I'm going to be growing my winter onions in. This compost has already been used once this year to grow tomatoes in, and that's what's left of the tomato plants, and we've recovered the compost into this barrel. It's easy enough done. Just lift it out of the bucket like this and break it up with a spade. Okay. So if we've already grown tomatoes in this compost, it's got to be depleted. It's got to be depleted. So we need to put something back in there. we're not going to add this toffee crumble, we're going to add some onion fertiliser. So put the onion fertiliser in the mix now, we put the mix in the bucket, we plant the onions, and there's not a great deal more to do other than to wait till next summer coming round to harvest them. Okay, let's add some of this to the mix. Now I don't deal in quantities, so don't ask me how much I'm adding because I don't know. What you see is what you get. We'll just give that a mix. That looks mixed to me. And then we'll charge this bucket. Okay, let's go and plant some onions. These are the 6 onions we're going to be planting in this 10-inch water bucket. If you're growing in something bigger, you might want to try more onion sets, but this works for me. I've tried to equally space them, and what I want to try and do now is plant them so that they sit on the top, but the roots are under the soil, under the compost. Are you going to give this a go? Having seen that result, are you going to give it a go? Well, you've nothing to lose, have you? There isn't much else you'll be growing through autumn and winter, but this is one thing you could grow, and one thing you could be harvesting next summer. What do you think? And all we're going to do once we've got these planted is give them a little drink of water and stand them outside, and they'll have to take whatever the weather throws at them. Now, autumns tend to be wet and cold affairs, don't they? So what you really need to do is make sure your bucket has got some good drainage holes in there, and that you don't let it get waterlogged. So that means you'll need to keep an eye on it. We're going to give these a little drink of water today. We might not need to give them any more until next spring, because if we get a wet autumn and a wet winter and this is standing outside, then we'll let the rain take the strain. But if we get a dry spell, then we'll give them a little drink. So we'll give them this little drink now, and then we'll stand them outside. And as I've said, there's nothing else to do with these guys now. There really is not. The compost has already got some onion fertiliser in it, so there is no need to give these onions any more fertiliser. We've already added it, and that's all they're going to be getting, apart from the odd watering, and if there are any strong winds at all and these things look as though they're going to be blown over, we'll perhaps have to push them back in again. But apart from that, that's it. How easy is that? How easy is that? Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.